Wyman and Bob.
Powered through the Alaska Airlines Studio.
On Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
We are back live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. And you guys should have heard Wyman during the break trying to already smooth out the road with Jason Myers. Tom, listen, these guys are going to tell you I don't like kickers. It's not true. I have a great amount of respect. And, old linebacker, this and that.
Hey, when the Super Bowl team came back, the one guy I went up to was Stephen Hauschka, and he remembered me and everything, so there.
See, that's all you have to do to get in his good graces, Jason, is remember.
Just say I remember him.
Just say, yeah, Dave. You'll be friends for life. Now, Jason Myers is here with us, man. Good to have you in here. Thanks for coming by.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I was curious. I was thinking about this. Dave talked about his time playing football in high school and that he was a kicker at one point or doing kickoffs. And that they tied his toe back to get some action on the ball.
You ever heard of that?
I've seen pictures.
Okay. But it was popular back in the 70s and 80s.
I'm curious, just coming up as a kid, were you always a kicker? Did you want to be a running back, a quarterback, or were you a soccer player that became a kicker? What's the genesis of the whole thing?
Yeah, grew up playing soccer, loved soccer, still love soccer, but was playing that at a high level. And then the high school I went to in San Diego, soccer's a winter sport, so had nothing to do in the fall. Just kind of, I was like, maybe I'll run cross country, do something just to stay in shape. And then 2 days before the freshman game, a buddy who I played Little League baseball with was the kicker and running back, and he broke his leg. And I was like, shoot, I'll give it a shot. Fell in love with it. Kind of pulled back from soccer, still played in high school, pulled back a little bit from the clubs I was playing with, and then just, fell in love with football and kicking. So sophomore year got pulled up to varsity. I was still a little undersized to play any other position, so that's when I just went full-time kicking.
I remember that story because we asked you, if he doesn't break his leg, do you think you ever think to kick a football?
No, I was in love with soccer at the time.
Yeah.
Always a big sports guy, so I always watched, the Chargers growing up and, enjoyed watching football, but just never really had time to decide if I wanted to do it or not. I was just so into soccer. So yeah, who knows? Shout out Matt Martinez, I guess.
Yeah.
That's my buddy.
Thanks for breaking your leg, buddy.
Thanks, pal. Hope you're feeling better. By the way, how do the linebackers these days, how does the rest of the team treat you as a kicker? Because, Dave talked about back in his...
We didn't treat people poorly.
No, it's good. It's good. Special teams is, there's so many guys that, play special teams in different roles, so they're always working with us too. And we have a great locker room here, so everyone's just, there's, I think that old school thinking of treating the kickers a little different is gone. So
that's for the older people. Huh?
Yep.
All right, little shot there. I like that. Hey, the other two guys you hang out with, you got to like those guys, right? But otherwise, it's like you guys are hanging out, just your group. You got Dixon and the new is Stiller? Stoll.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of a tight relationship there, right?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time together. We're working out at different times. We're talking about little nuances of just minute things, but we're always together. Both of them are great guys, great friends. Stoll stepped right in and has done a great job for us. He works hard, so we're happy to have him working with the three of us. So
cool. How often are you tweaking mechanics and things? I always view kickers like pitchers in baseball, where they're very analytical, and if any part of their mechanics are off that you don't even see with your eye, it's very subtle. It can throw off everything. And I'm guessing in kicking, it's probably something similar.
Yeah, for me, I enjoy golf, so that's kind of how I treat everything. I have somebody who I work with, Nick Novak, for my swing and stuff. I work with a sports psychologist that I've been working with since my rookie year. So yeah, like you said, it's when I work on stuff, I can see it, but then it's kind of more of just like a feel maybe, and so you may not even notice many difference on the film, but I can feel it, and so I'm week to week, I'm always looking at the film. I'm critiquing a lot and very detailed in that form, but then like to work on it throughout the week and get to a point where on Sunday it's just a free flowing athletic swing. So it's kind of riding the line of both thoughts there.
Is it particularly difficult to kick to that the the north end zone. I mean, that's where everybody seems to miss. And this goes back to like 2000, well, since the stadium opened. What are the challenges there? Just the open end and the extra breeze?
it just gets in there and it swirls. There's a lot of stadiums that have ends or different winds. It is difficult kicking up here, but I enjoy the challenge. Me and Dixon are always talking about what the wind's doing to the football, if it's switching, what he feels versus what I feel. So we work well in that sense of things, but it's a good challenge, and if you don't enjoy those challenges, then you're not in the right spot. So
what's the best place to kick that you've been to?
I mean, anywhere indoors. Yeah.
Okay.
You take that whole element out of it, but
Yeah.
When you miss, do you know right away what happened? Like, my footing was off, or the timing was off with the hold, or whatever. Is it obvious, or is it something that you need to go back and look at the tape and go, oh, okay, that makes sense?
I think early in my career, I would kind of get lost. But now I've just, I work so hard in the off season to know what I'm doing, what I'm feeling. Been in a lot of different situations, so I can tell pretty quickly. Obviously, like, we get the pictures on the sideline, but there's no video, so you got to kind of what you felt, if the timing was off, if something was off with anything. So I can tell pretty quick now, and it's the life of a kicker. You're gonna miss, and then you just gotta step back up, and you're gonna get put out there. It's like baseball, right? Like, you make an error, that ball's coming right back at you. So
yeah,
it's just another challenge of being a kicker in the NFL. So,
Jason, how much do you interact with Larry Izzo, your coach? Is he constantly? Usually, he's more of a cover guy. Now, this guy was like a Pro Bowl special team guy, right?
He's a Hall of Fame finalist. If you saw the new list that just came out.
Wow.
Yeah, Izzo's a great coordinator. He knows, or he trusts us that he knows that we're working at our craft. He gives his input when he feels he has something for us, but at the same time, he definitely respects that our job's a little bit different than covering a kick. So, I love playing for Izzo. It's just the perfect amount of, he wants to know what's going on, but then also lets and trust you to do your job and be prepared for Sunday and do your job. So,
did they ever break out any highlights or anything of him when he was a player?
I think he breaks out his own more often than not. So. Plenty of highlights, though.
It's amazing to to stand next to him now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not a big guy, and he was an absolute demon.
Yeah, he
was incredible.
You watch the film; it's just guys today still don't know how he did some of the things he did, but he made a lot of plays in his career. So,
do you look at other kickers around the league and sort of everybody kind of looks the same? This is a novice when it comes to kicking. They all look like they do the same thing, but are there things you look at and go, wow, that's unique, the way this guy kicks, the way he sets up, or anything like that?
We always watch all the kicks from around the league every week. Sometimes you can pick up different things. The way I swing's slightly different than most guys, a little bit more upright and vertical of a swing. So, in terms of technique and stuff like that, I kind of just hone in on my own thing. But you're definitely watching, seeing how guys are kicking. It is a little fraternity. We kick with a lot of guys in the off season, so it's just kind of watching and seeing how everyone's doing.
You guys trade secrets or talk about, here's what I like to do. Try this.
We get together. I've gotten together in San Diego with a bunch of guys the last couple of years. I know there's a few other spots that a good handful of a dozen plus of guys that will get together and kick and punt and snap. So it's definitely changing from what it was probably when I first got in the league. Like, some of the older guys kind of stayed away, but everyone loves getting together and kicking, and it's just it's a small little group. So,
Jason, real quick, I know we got to let you go, but so if you meet somebody that doesn't know who you are, and then you tell them, like, you're with your wife or whatever, and you say, I'm a place kicker in the NFL. Do they even say place kicker anymore?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So, but you tell them, I'm a kicker in the NFL. What's the most common question? Like, what do people ask? Like,
well, first of all, I enjoy walking around town and no one really knows who we are.
Anonymity.
I also had
fun.
that, except mine was because I was a crappy player. But
anyway, I enjoy just laying low. We're kind of homebodies, but Yeah, I mean, what's the pressure like? You know,
Yeah.
it's you get some random questions for sure. You kind of where people's minds go when you tell them what I do. It's definitely funny at times.
Do you ever get? I thought you'd be bigger. 'Cause you're a pro football
Some people
player.
say you look bigger on TV, and I was like, nope, this is me. So
This is me. This is it. Last weird question. If for some reason Dixon got hurt, can you punt?
yeah,
Would you be the guy? That's,
yeah. I would, you know, knock on wood. I would get us through the game, and then they would find somebody that's good at it. But I had to punt my senior year in college. I don't like punting. It's very gray. You know, I need my answers. It's good or it's not. Punting it's more gray. So you can hit a great punt and the coverage isn't great and it's your fault. So I need my answers from.
But you're the emergency guy.
Yeah,
though.
I'd get us through a game and they'd figure it out for the next week. So
Gotcha. You're hit or miss.
Yep.
It's just a lot of
Need my
gray.
answers,
Too gray.
Too gray, yeah.
Hey, Jason, good to talk to you, man. We appreciate you coming down, and best of luck against the Giants coming up.
Thank you guys.